If you have ADHD, or what I call attention directed to higher dimensions, and you struggle with productivity or time management, if you find yourself losing track of important tasks because your mind just flips the switch a lot, or if you struggle to prioritize things because everything is just interesting to you, then in this video, I'm going to share my simple productivity system that helped me really harness my ADHD and turn it into an advantage in my online business. I made this video a while back, but I shared it in a few communities and a lot of people really liked it, so I thought I'd share it on my YouTube channel and hopefully it could be helpful for you too. The system is called The Second Brain. It was founded by a guy named Tiago Forte, who I consider my productivity guru. You can look up his YouTube videos. He has a lot of information going deeper into the concept, but this is my system that I've created within his framework that really works for me, especially with my nonlinear attention directed to higher dimension tendencies. Before I get into it, welcome to this brand new channel. My name is Paris and I'm not an expert or a guru in anything. I just like to learn a bunch of things, combine knowledge and wisdom from different disciplines, and make videos sharing interesting things that I learn in hopes that it will help you improve your life in some kind of way. So let's get into it. I'm going to hop into Loom and show you my second brain system. So with the second brain and what I'm about to show you, it's really been able to help me live a much clearer life, a much more efficient life, and really just improve my memory. With it, I've been able to turn all my ideas into reality with my businesses or with content. While I'm not perfect and things still slip through the cracks, I'm definitely not as scattered as I was before in someone who has neurodivergent qualities and ADHD. Instead of trying to remember everything on my own, I outsource my memory to robots that function as this second brain system. Also, this is just what works for me, and you got to find out what works for you. But I think this will be a really great start for you to start building your own second brain. Okay, so in this little layout presentation I got here, I'm going to be revealing my entire second brain system. I'm going to be going over the 4-step C.O.D.E method on how this whole thing works, really. You're going to be able to steal my 12 favorite power apps for 10x productivity. I'm going to go over how I use this second brain in my personal and professional life. I'm also going to go over how much it costs. Now, before I go deeper into everything, this whole second brain concept was founded by a guy named Tiago Forte. I like to call him the Elon Musk of productivity because he kind of looks like him. If you want to really dive deep into this subject, I highly recommend his book, Building a Second Brain. Okay, so let's go into my second brain. To start, I only use 2 devices to manage my whole entire life through, and that is my Mac Air M1, which is right here, and also my iPhone 12 Pro Max. That's just the case for it right here, but these are the 2 things that I use that help me organize and create everything I do in my life. Now, how much is all this? My personal entire second brain system costs about $345.98. Now, you don't need to do that. You can cut out 2 apps, AudioPen and Speechify. And if you do that, you're looking at about a $90.98 startup cost. And then after the startup cost, you're looking at around $40 a month to manage your own second brain. Before I get into the apps, I'm going to first describe what the C.O.D.E method is. And this basically breaks down the whole system of flow of everything from consuming the content to actually expressing your ideas that come from what you're consuming. Part of C.O.D.E first is capture. This is all the apps that I use for my capture process. Organize and distilling, these are my notes apps. And then the expression, and these are typically going to be the social media platforms that I turn all of my ideas and all the things that I learn into things for the world to share and to contribute to this whole human condition type of thing. Okay, so going a little bit deeper here, when you start building your second brain, you want to think about your inputs. This is basically where I hang out the most in the digital world. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. I learn a lot of things off Instagram, TikTok, newsletters, podcasts, books, conversations in real life. I learn a lot now from ChatGPT. If you're not using ChatGPT, I highly recommend it. Perplexity is another AI software that I use to do research, and really just my life experiences here. Another input that I have that I thought was important that I share with you guys is shower thoughts. I had this notepad that's waterproof and I can hang it in my shower. You know how you have the best ideas in the shower? I want to make the most of that time where I'm in flow state and I'm just getting all that inspiration in the shower. So I got these things called Aqua Notes, which allows me to jot down my ideas there and then send them over down this funnel of apps later on. These are inputs, and a quick thing about the inputs too, if you want to increase the quality of your output in life, increase the quality of your inputs. What I consume, I try my best to have a healthy information diet and consume content from people who really inspire me and who really share a lot of value to improve my own life. So now that you know your inputs, now we got to go into the capture system. So these are all the apps that I use to capture my ideas. I use an app called Readwise, and this is really incredible. I'm going to go over it in a bit. Speechify is a really great app that allows you to turn any text into audio, and the voices, the AI voices that they have on there are really good, so it makes it a lot easier to listen to. I can have Snoop Dogg read me a book on metaphysics, or I can have Mr. Beast read me a book on macroeconomics. So Speechify has opened the door for me to read a lot more, and reading is really hard with ADHD, so yeah, Speechify helps me with that. Otter.ai is a really good app that I use to capture and transcribe real life conversations that I'm having in the moment. So sometimes I'll be having a conversation with someone and we'll be having really good gems. It has a really good widget where I can just go on my phone, click a button, and then turn it on, turn over my phone, and then just start capturing the conversation. It's also cool because it integrates with ChatGPT. So later on, I could actually ask ChatGPT to summarize the meeting, to give me action items or to-do lists, or what are the key decisions that were made in the actual meeting itself. A ton of great features with Otter.ai, and it's a must-have for my second brain. Instead of using external hard drives, I use cloud storage because I can access it across all my devices. I can search something if I need it. I don't have to sort through hundreds of paper to find what I'm looking for. AudioPen is an AI app that allows you to turn a fuzzy thought, a voice recording, into clear text that can be usable for later on. I also use Obsidian and another app called Notion. It's not here right now, but yeah, Notion. These are my knowledge management apps. Next, I have task management. I use Things, Todoist, Fantastical Calendar, and Google Calendar. To illustrate Todoist, I made a hotkey that's control space, and then this thing pops up and I can say, finish second brain video. And then I can click add task, and then that goes immediately into my phone where all my tasks are stored. I can see it both on my laptop and on my phone itself. And the thing I love about this is that it's connected also to my calendar apps. So I could say finish second brain video tomorrow at 2 p.m., add the task. And then when I do that, I can pull up my calendar, and then it adds that, let me see, yeah, finish second brain video, 2 p.m. It automatically adds it to my calendar, so it just makes planning my days and setting my calendar for things so much faster and so much more streamlined. So I'm not wasting time trying to actually get to my apps and sort through things. I could just click control space, add in the task, and then it's in the data bank of things for me to do. So this is the capture area. Going a little bit deeper, if I'm to recommend one app that really creates the second brain experience, it would be Readwise. Everything in my inputs up here, everything that I consume, I send it straight to this app right here called Readwise. To set this up, it's super simple. You just download the app, you connect it to your Kindle or Readwise reader, which is what I send all my YouTube videos to, all the articles, all the blog posts, all the emails that I get. And then when it's in the Readwise reader, I then have the ability to highlight and annotate the content. So I can highlight YouTube videos. I can annotate ebooks that I'm reading, or emails that I got a really good piece of information. I can highlight it. And then the next thing is to connect it to your Notes app. So after you highlight and annotate it in the Reader app, which is basically where I spend all of my time on consuming content, all those highlights will automatically get sent into these areas where I organize and distill all that information. All that information gets sent into my Obsidian app, and Obsidian is a great app for connecting dots, for linking my thinking. And then Notion is a place where I create systems. So I do all my thinking in Obsidian. I connect all my inputs, all the knowledge that I'm getting from here, from all my highlights and annotations in Obsidian. I'm connecting dots here. And then I turn all those insights into systems in my Notion page. These systems are then expressed through my businesses or just how I manage my life in general. Now I have this other app right here. It's called ChatGPT. If you're not aware of it, highly recommend you learn about it. ChatGPT helps streamline this whole process of organizing my information and even coming up with new ideas. It kind of goes in this little circle because all these things usually talk to each other. So you got Obsidian talking to ChatGPT, ChatGPT talking to Notion, Notion talking to Obsidian, and then these all just kind of intersect and intermingle depending on how I interact with the information in the moment. So this is where I organize and distill information. And then we get down to the express, the E in the C.O.D.E framework, where all of that information then gets expressed in one of these life buckets. And in my decisions in health, in my wealth, in building my businesses or building income streams, or my relationships with my family or my significant other. To look at it from a bigger perspective, I turn all of this information, this is where I consume content, this is where I capture content, I highlight it, I filter it to make sure that it's high quality information relevant to me and what I'm doing. It goes into my Notes app, and then I build upon that, I structure that information more, I synthesize it, I distill it a little bit more, I organize it, and then I express that through digital products, like what I'm making right now. I'll express it through different times where I'll speak on stages, or just in my content on my Instagram page. I'll express it in my services for clients. And this is just some stuff that people have said from all the information that I've distilled from all the things that I've learned and turned into things that have been actionable and helpful for other people. Going deeper, the expression part is really about turning all that knowledge to express my purpose through my life's work. Patrick O'Shaughnessy defines life's work really well. He says, life's work is basically a lifelong quest to build something for others that expresses who you are. That is through your business. This is through my personal brand there. And then once that's expressed, more conversations happen, and it goes back up to the inputs, and then the process just repeats. It becomes a never-ending cycle of learning and growth and expansion and adding on top of what is already known. And that's it. That's basically my entire second brain system. And before I end, I want to leave off with a little bit of insight. I get a question a lot that is, how do I know what to capture? There's just a ton of noise on social media, a ton of noise in the digital world. I found a mental model by a guy named Richard Feynman, who's a Nobel Prize winning physicist. Right here, this is Richard Feynman, and the quote is, you have to keep a dozen of your favorite problems constantly present in your mind, although by and large they will lay in a dormant state. Every time you hear or read a new trick or a new result, test it against each one of your 12 favorite problems to see whether it helps. Every once in a while, there will be a hit, and people will say, how did he do it? He must be a genius. So when I'm consuming content, I'm always filtering it through my 12 favorite problems. I'm going to share some of them with you so you can get kind of an idea. I highly recommend making some of this so you can be a little more intentional with your content consumption process. How can I be more free? How can I diverge this task and kill a ton of birds with one stone? How can I make money by impacting others while not having to post constantly? How can I build a highly profitable business without managing a big team? How can I make money while being aligned to my values? How can I grow my audience while maintaining my privacy? How can I build a profitable business without increasing stress and anxiety? How can I make money as a hybrid human or someone who has neurodivergent qualities and has ADHD? How can I form relationships that make me feel amazing and are low maintenance? How can I travel while still running a profitable business and living my life and being present? How can I be a better teacher, make it simpler, make it easier, make it faster, make it more concise? How can I flow between obsession and life without having my relationships fall apart? So these are some of my 12 favorite problems. And again, because I filter information through these things, I am able to get to the point of information that's truly valuable to me, and not just to me, but to everyone around me. And then that's expressed again through my life's purpose, through my personal brand, and through my businesses here. So that is my second brain system. I hope it was insightful. I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, I'd really appreciate any feedback that you have on some insights or some epiphanies that you may have had in watching this whole second brain video. If you want to download all these apps and get all the links to it right away, I also have a Google Sheet that you can click on, go to each one of those links, download them, and organize them, structure them in this way, and you will be on your way to creating your own digitized second brain to help you turn your attention into an asset. That's it for this video for now. Good luck, Godspeed, and I'll see you in another video somewhere.